Salute my dudes and welcome back to the channel. I am TacticalxFetus and today we'll be talking about the pink-haired bodybuilding Russian, Zarya. Zarya is one of the best heroes to add to your hero pool, but is easily the hardest to master. In this video today we'll be going over some basic tips, guides, strategies, and counters to Zarya. Really pay attention to the gameplay above as it'll really help you understand what I'm talking about. Especially right here, like screw these books. Every match you get into on Volskaya Industries, make sure you destroy the bookshelves, cause screw these freaking books. Alright, now let's get into some hero specifics. Zarya has 400 HP, with half of that being a shield. If you're unfamiliar with how shields work, shields recover over time without help of a healer. Zarya is listed as a tank class hero, but is more like an off tank as she doesn't have any armor. She is better comboed with a full tank like Reinhardt, D.Va, or Winston. Now on to Zarya's weapon, Particle Cannon. Zarya has two rates of fire, one being a particle beam and the other being a splash projectile. The particle beam has 95 DPS, 100 rounds, and fires at 20 rounds per second. It is a single targeting weapon and only has a maximum range of 16 meters, so it is obviously best used at close range. It is also important to note that you cannot headshot with Zarya's weapon, so just aim for the fattest part of their body. The particle cannon's splash projectile setting does 45 DPS and can be used at long range to poke the enemy team down or at short range to do some quick burst. This setting can only be fired 4 times per clip as it absorbs 25 energy to fire. But it is important to note that you can use this setting even when you have only 1 ammo. So if you use your energy properly, you can actually get a fire off even when you only have 1 charge left. That may sound a little confusing at first, but when you get into the game, just try it out. Try firing your alternate fire when you only have 1 ammo left. Trust me, it's Fetus approved. It works. Now on to Zarya's barriers. Now Zarya's barriers is the most important part of her kit. It's really what separates diamond level Zarya players to bronze scrub lord Zarya players. Zarya can project a barrier onto herself and an ally, with a cooldown of 10 seconds and 8 seconds respectively. Each shield can absorb up to 200 damage and blocks all forms of CC like McCree's stun and Roadhog's hook. Zarya's shields can also absorb all instantaneous damage, so like Junkrat's, Riptire, and D.Va's ultimate. Even if Zarya's shield is at 1 HP, it'll still absorb all of that damage. Zarya's shields only last about 2 seconds, so it's really important with timing. The cooldown is also relatively long, so that is really what you have to work on when you're playing Zarya, and that is what separates the players from the tier list. Now you may be noticing that little number underneath my crosshairs on the screen, and I'll get into that right now. That number represents Zarya's charge. Zarya builds up charge by enemies destroying her barriers. And remember that her barriers only last 2 seconds, so it's really important that you time that correctly. Every time that number goes up, Zarya's damage goes up by 1%. So the higher the charge, the higher the damage. So you can understand at maximum charge, Zarya can deal out some insane damage. I mean the type of damage like killing Tracer in 1 second type of damage. Now onto Zarya's ultimate, Graviton Surge. In my opinion, Zarya's ulti is the best in the game other than Zenyatta's Pass Through the Iris. Now what Zarya's ulti actually does is she yells out some weird Russian thing that I'm not even going to attempt to say, or she says fire at will. She shoots out this orb out of her gun that sucks all the enemies in from an 8-meter radius into a little clump, and they're stuck there for 4 seconds. So you can see how this could be really good for your team, having the whole enemy team in one spot. Her ulti also does an oddly specific 22 damage to every single member of the enemy team and is best used when womboed with a Pharah ultimate, a Reaper, or a Genji, or a Hanzo. It's good with your whole team, but it is really good to use with your team. Please don't use it as a panic ability when you're about to die, just firing it into the enemy team. Use it to synergize with the rest of your team. That's how Zarya carries games. That's why you see Zarya on the pro level. That's why you see her in all the diamond games, is because she is all about team synergy. Alright, now with the abilities out of the way, let's talk about some Zarya strats. Now when playing Zarya, you should almost never go off on your own. Zarya is a team player, so you need to stick with your team, provide barriers, and build up that charge. An easy way to build up your charge is to, whenever you see a Junkrat on the other team, or a Pharah, or you see Soldier about to fire his Helix rockets, just pop your berry and absorb that damage. Alright, now that you absorbed some damage and built up some charge, you hear Zarya call out maximum charge. So that doesn't mean go off on your own and try to go full ham sandwich on him. Please don't do that. Zarya is a team player. Zarya needs to be with her team. Now, you can solo kill a lot of people, so if you get into a one-on-one situation and you have high charge, you'll win almost every single time. So don't be scared to one-on-one somebody. But, I mean, don't go balls deep in their backline trying to blow them up just because you hear Zarya maximum charge. Like, oh, maximum charge, I do a lot of damage now. Stick with your team because Zarya's job is not to do damage. Zarya's job is to tank, provide CC, and provide barriers for your team. So it's really important that you know that the whole time. So when you get maximum charge, although it's great and you'll do some crazy damage in a team fight, it needs to be in a team fight, not on a 1v6. Now, whenever you get your ultimate up, ping the hell out of that shit. So let your team know that you're about to ult. Make sure they know, and it is best used when comboed with another teammate's ultimate. And remember, do not use this as a panic save for yourself. This is best used with another player's ultimate, or if you just have the rest of your team around that can kill them. Do not. It is the worst thing for you to do is panic ulti with Zarya. Now on to some counters on Zarya. So Zarya doesn't have any hard counters, but in a 1v1 basis, if you're fighting a Reaper, this is kind of a skill matchup. He can tear through your shields pretty fast, so a good Reaper knows how to tear through your shields and can kill you in about 2 shots. But if he does try to blow through your shields, you do have a chance of winning that fight as you will have high charge after it. Another bad matchup for 1v1 is Mei, as your shield can block her from freezing you, but only for so long. Basically in that matchup, it's harder for you to kill her than it is for her to kill you. Next up is D.Va. D.Va is not a counter to Zarya, as you can win in 1v1 situations almost every single time. But it is important to note that her shield can absorb your ultimate as you're firing it. So just make sure her shield is down whenever you ult it, or you'll have some disappointing results. Alright my dudes, that is it for this video. Again, this is just a basic guide to Zarya, so if you want some more advanced stuff, I will put up a video on that in the future. As always, I will have another guide up in the next couple of days, so stay tuned for that. If you like this video, then please like this video. If you'd want to see more content from me, then please subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm TacticalxFetus, and I'll see you guys next time.